We all see it. Generative AI is completely reshaping our world. But here's the big question. Is our education system actually keeping up? Today, we're going to dig into a really new, kind of radical approach to AI training that's trying to close that gap. You know, the one between the classroom and what the tech industry really needs. Let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why AI education needs a serious rethink. Then, we'll check out a new curriculum designed for this whole new era. After that, we'll look at the specific AWS tools making it happen. And finally, we'll see how this is all coming together to build the workforce of tomorrow.
All right, let's kick things off with part one, rethinking AI education. Because, well, it's becoming pretty obvious that the old way of doing things just doesn't cut it anymore.
And this, right here, is the million-dollar question for educators everywhere. I mean, think about it. With tech moving this fast, are universities running the risk of teaching skills that are already out of date by graduation day? It's a tough question, but one we've absolutely got to ask.
Now, this is where it gets really eye-opening. This comes from Dr. Yogesh Malhotra, the educator behind this whole shift. He argues that focusing too much on older, foundational ideas like neural networks isn't just a little outdated. It's actually leading to, and this is a direct quote, large-scale, real-world failures. We're talking about failures in huge, complex systems like global supply chains or financial markets, where the old models just, well, they can't handle the chaos of the modern world.
So, to really get this, we need to define our terms. This post-generative AI era, it's not just some fancy buzzword. It's about a fundamental shift. We've moved past just building AI models. Now, the real work, the hard work, is in applying, integrating, and managing these incredibly powerful and complex systems out there, in the real world. That's the new frontier.
Okay, so if the old way is broken, what's the fix? That brings us right to Section 2, a curriculum for the post-generative AI world, a whole new vision for how we learn this stuff.
And let's be super clear on this. We're not talking about just tweaking a few lectures or updating a textbook. No way. This new curriculum is a complete fundamental shift in the entire philosophy of how we teach artificial intelligence and machine learning.
So what does that shift actually look like in practice? Well, it's really built on three core pillars. First, moving beyond those older models that have shown their limits. Second, building the curriculum on the absolute latest practices from industry giants like AWS. And third, and this is the big one, it's about making a huge conceptual leap from being data-driven to network-centric.
And this slide right here breaks down that difference perfectly. A data-driven approach, that's like looking in the rearview mirror. It's all about analyzing data you already have. But a network-centric approach, that's about looking ahead. It's designed to manage the future, all the dynamic change, the chaos, the uncertainty that defines how things really work.
Look, having a great curriculum idea is one thing, but you need the right tools to actually make it work. And that brings us to Section 3, the industry standard toolkit from AWS that's making this whole thing possible.
So this new educational model is really powered by a whole ecosystem of AWS resources. The best way to think about it is like a ladder for students. You start on the first rung with AWS Skill Builder for those core skills. Then you climb up to ML University for some serious developer-level education. You get practical experience in immersion labs, and the whole thing is tied into the university through AWS Academy.
And the scale we're talking about here is just massive. Check out this number, over 600.
Yep, that's more than 600 free, hands-on courses available through AWS Skill Builder. It's the foundation of this whole approach. And the key thing here? It gives out certificates, real, tangible credentials that students can put on a resume to prove they have the skills employers are looking for right now.
Now, for students who want to go even deeper, there's the AWS Machine Learning University. And this is the really wild part. These are the exact same courses that Amazon uses to train its own developers. So students are learning the same material as the pros on powerful platforms like SageMaker's Studio Lab.
And to make sure students are on the absolute cutting edge, you've got AWS Immersion Labs. And these aren't boring lectures. We're talking about hands-on workshops with the newest tech out there, including generative AI and large language models, LLMs.
And finally, AWS Academy is like the glue that holds all of this together. It gives universities a free, ready-to-teach curriculum, so it actually empowers educators to stay current and give their students the skills they need to get hired.
So, we've got a new curriculum, and we've got the tools to teach it. But what's the bottom line? What's the payoff? That takes us to our final section, forging the future workforce and the real-world results of this approach.
When you strip everything else away, the goal is actually super simple and practical. It's about getting students from the classroom into a great job, armed with skills that employers don't just want, but are desperately searching for. It's all about closing that gap between theory and reality.
And for the students themselves, the benefits are huge and very real. They don't just graduate with a degree. They walk out with a whole portfolio of industry-recognized credentials, a ton of hands-on project experience, and actual, tangible proof that they are ready for the post-Gen AI world.
And you can really see the impact here. When you shift from a traditional curriculum to this new AWS-Integrated model, you see a massive leap in job readiness. These graduates aren't just book smart, they are ready to contribute from day one.
Honestly, the entire philosophy might just be summed up by this incredible quote from Dr. Malhotra: obsolete what you know before others obsolete it, and profit by creating the challenges and opportunities others haven't even thought about. I mean, wow. It's really just a call to never stop learning, to always be pushing forward.
And so, all of this leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. It's not enough for education to just play catch-up with technology anymore. So how do we build a system where our schools and universities can actually help shape the future of that technology? That is the challenge of the next decade. And this new model, well, it shows us a pretty exciting way forward.